Okay, Rafi, let's begin. So this position is black to play. Question is, do you think black has any winning chances or this will be a draw?
I think it should be a draw. Um, there's certainly nothing happening for queenside, that's for sure. The
Mhm.
question is whether black can take on f4 and try to get that f4 pawn somehow or something like that. Put the king in some sort of type of
Mhm.
opposition or shouldering, whatever the technique might be. That's what I'm trying to see. But it kind of seems kind of hard to do. I don't know. I feel like white would be okay just bringing this king to like f3 or g3 or something like that.
Also, I can come
Just
here.
that's also a possibility. Yep, that's it. Yep. And by pushing g4, I don't think black will get anywhere. I mean, white king is perfectly placed to, stop any kind of entrance for the black king, I feel like, right? Like white can just shuffle simply between c3 and d3. And I don't see how black is entering that position.
Well, black can get his king to d5.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but right now white's gonna play, say, like king d4. White's, gonna be able to do that, right? So then the moment like black gets king to d5, white will be able to grab the opposition, right? So then black has to have one more move available. Okay. Interesting. Well, maybe you can enter the position then. Hmm. Okay, then I would push for the win in this scenario. I would start with g4, then wait for his king to come through, then get my king to d5, then play h5,
Yeah.
and see if I can make progress into either c4 or e4.
Okay, so that's actually probably the right judgment that when you play this, and if he goes here, we can play king e6, probably king e3, king d5, king d3, and h5. Yeah.
Yeah,
So this is kind of okay because black is getting access to these 2 points, right?
right.
So in the game, basically after g4, white played some because white just realized that he's losing anyway because the king is coming to d5. White just played something random and resigned, like didn't even try to defend this position. Now the question they're asking is there is king e3, king e6, and so basically this and this. And they're asking, can white defend this position? So there is a chance of a draw in this if you can figure it out.
So I'm assuming that it entails sacrificing a4, playing b5, and trying to play king b4 to get the a pawn again. Something along those lines. Um, so let's just say king d4, king d6. Something like a4 takes. Well, I think the idea definitely revolves around like, the moment the black king is going to start running towards e4, the white king is going to start, white's going to play a4 and try to get the b6 pawn.
So basically, you
Because
mean
it's going to take,
white should put the king on b3 and then play a4?
I'm not sure if he needs to go all the way to b3, but he can stick around like c3 or d4 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Play a4 once he takes, then push b5. And
Okay.
then I don't know. That sounds like it's a lot of moves, but maybe white can in time get the a3 pawn or the a4 pawn, black pawn, and then run back somehow in time to get b6 before black can go all the way to, because black has to get h2 g3 and then be able to push the g pawn. That's still like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 moves to queening. In
Yeah.
that time, let's just assume white's king was on c3. White plays a4. That's 1, takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's like 14 moves for white.
Mm-hmm.
What do we say was for black? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. White seems like it's going to take him such a long time to queen.
I think white could lose that one, right?
Well, I think the other idea is that white doesn't need to push a4. What if he just waits till black king goes to like, e4 or e6 or e3, and then he starts running Well, I guess he would need to wait till black king goes all the way to f2. Then he starts. White
A4.
king goes to f2, king d4, king g2. He plays king d5, king takes h2, king c6, king takes g3, king takes b6,
I think
king
black is going to be
f2
faster.
takes, yeah, black is way faster. So as far as just kind of sticking around in the middle and trying to hold opposition, I don't really see how, because black has that extra tempo on h5. And even then, black could just wait, right? Even if he didn't have that. Or maybe, actually, that maybe is a deciding factor. I don't know.
So basically here the question
Mm.
is, white should must be, or at least trying to do something on the king side rather than on the queen side. So is anything available on the king side here?
Okay, so you're saying to allow the black king to run towards c4
Yeah,
and b3, and in
yeah.
that time come and grab the f5 pawn, right?
Yeah, possible. I mean, that's definitely one way.
So in order for that to happen, black plays king c4, white still can't do anything. Maybe white steps into e3 as black plays king c4. Black plays king b3, white plays king d4,
But
black takes on a3.
that Rafi will not happen. Yeah, if king is on c4. You mean after king is on c4, white can come king e3.
Right.
Okay.
Then king b3, king d4, king takes a3, king e5, king takes b4, king takes f5, then king, I guess maybe c3.
King g4, king somewhere.
Yeah, king c3, then king. Let's just say I go to. Sure, I'll go to like e6.
Mhm.
Then he plays b4, f5, b3, f6, b2, f7, e queens, I queen. That sounds like it's a possibility.
Okay.
But then he'll take the. Yeah, actually, that does work. So yeah, I'll just let black enter the position via c4. And the moment he plays c4, I know I have to play king e3. But
Okay.
then he can play king c3 after that, which would cost me one more tempo. Because after king c3, I need to go to like, say I play king e2, then he plays king b3. I now play king e3. King takes a3, king d4, king takes b4, king e5, king c3, king takes f5, b4, king e6, b3, f5, b2, f6, b1 queen, f7. and I'm not making it on time, right?
Yeah,
Because that queen is gonna definitely check me and then come and stop my pawn.
for sure. What about a move like creating some counterplay with h3 and stuff, like straight away?
Um, I don't understand how that could work because black is like literally 2 moves away from queening, right?
Yeah, but I can put my king on f2, king on g1, king comes to h2, and at that point you cannot freely go to this side, yeah, because I have this pawn break through g4.
So h3, I take it, king f2, or would you play g4 right away?
Yeah, maybe. Mm,
Well, I'll take the g4 pawn too.
No, I mean,
I have to.
after h3, let's just play it out. After h3 and king f2, how are you, like, what is your move?
Oh, I see. You're just gonna walk up and then take the h3 pawn.
Yeah, yeah.
And anytime I try to get my king to the other side, you're gonna play g4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just say I try to stop that first. I play h5.
h5, king to g1, of course.
Maybe I'm too slow. Okay, and then I guess king d5,
King d5, king h2,
king c4, king takes, king b3,
king h4,
king h4 takes,
king h5.
takes. I take the other pawn.
And now I should play g4.
Just push the pawn, right? Mm-hmm.
And okay, this is a good chance to be a draw.
Yep. Yep.
So I think in this position, the key is to find h3. Other than that, I think this position cannot work.
I didn't even consider. I mean, I looked at h3, of course, but I didn't think anything would come out of it because I thought that the white king just has to be, suddenly the white king is stuck
On the
trying to
b
pick up
side.
that pawn.
Yeah.
But I think I had to also recognize the pawn breakthrough with g4 to be
Yeah.
able to really calculate that move deeply.
Yes.
What if he doesn't take it and plays h5?
Exactly. So now what happens is if he plays h5, now I think we can take. He has to take with the h pawn. I mean, he doesn't want to give us a protected pass pawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now do you realize, yeah, that his reserve move, like his waiting move is gone. So now
Done.
I can play king d4, king d6, and we can just go back. King d5, king d3. So he doesn't have that h5 move to gain access to these squares.
Mm, definitely, yeah.
I think that's the key point here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Very interesting.
So basically, this is a nice problem to realize the waiting move of h5 can automatically be removed, yeah, by playing h3 in this position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go for the next one.
Okay.
Just next one I want to also do because I believe that's much simpler. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
This one is white to play.
White to move, you said, right?
Yes.
It should be a win for white,
Mm-hmm.
I
How?
would think. Um, just by using the shouldering and opposition techniques or something like that. So depending on which way black's gonna come at the c4, c5 pawn, I'm just gonna come right in time to try to stop that king from advancing and then use my extra tempo to kind of push him back. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm just gonna run towards that, pawn. So I'm just gonna go king e2, d3, and c4. Depending on which way black comes, I'm just gonna use my king to kind of
Okay.
take
So
opposition from him.
yeah, I'm gonna play King D7, I'm sure. And when you come King D3, King E7, so something like that, I'll try.
Well, I'll always have an extra tempo to push you back, start continuing pushing you back.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll come to e6 and I'll be on e4 and then I'll just play b3. And you're gonna go to c3 or something?
Yeah, F6.
Or sorry, f6. Interesting. The idea is, I think, to eventually play b5 and then get it to where I'm just gonna queen much faster than him, and my king needs to remain on the d file, I believe, because otherwise he's queening with a check.
Possible.
So, like, basically, the hypothetical scenario would be my king is on d6, and at that moment, say your king is on f6, I'll play b5,
Mm-hmm.
you'll take, and I'll just play c6, you play b4, c7, b3, queen. And if you try to come at the pawn, then I'm just gonna play king d7. So how do I create that scenario is the question.
Yeah. Of course, I think if you manage to get to D6, you will automatically win, right?
Right. So how do I get there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think if you get the king to D6, I don't think it will even
Oh,
matter.
yeah. I don't need to play b4, b5. Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
just
What am I
king
saying?
D7. Yeah, just king D7 and anything will win, basically.
Right. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, like, there's only one way to try to win this position, I think. To get my king to e4, to play b5, move into d5 with my king, and either try to help the pawn promote by staying on the d file, or push the pawn to c6 and then go after the b pawn, pick that up, and then try to queen that. That is the only way to win this, I think.
Okay.
I can't think of like any other way that I would approach this. I guess the other way might be to, same idea, but my king is on c4 instead. But if my king is on c4 and I try to do the same idea with b5, he'll just take and I take. And if I'm not mistaken, black king will be close enough in that case to just stop, the grab the opposition and stop me from being able to make a queen. Like the moment I take on b5, for example, he will step into b7. And that's a draw, right?
Yes, that has to be a draw.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna try it like that. I'm gonna try it by going to e4 instead. And from e4, I'm gonna push b5.
Okay.
So let's try it like this. Let's say I play king d3.
King d3, king. Uh-huh. So king e7 I have to play, right? After king d3.
King d4. b4. I take that back. b3. Oh, wow. Okay. So you want to keep that d5 square from me.
Mm-hmm.
Can we try something else from the beginning?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna okay. King e2. King e3. King e4. b4.
But then now you can play king f5, right? Mm. That's
Now
what.
I can actually play
Yeah, if I
yeah,
you can play king
yeah,
f5. So I
yeah.
have to play king f6, sorry.
Okay, now I play b5. King d5. Looks like only one move really. Well, hold on. No, yeah. There's only one idea here. King c6. Just c6.
Pawn c6, yeah?
Yeah, pawn, sorry, pawn
Pawn
c6, yeah.
c6, I will use the distraction, I think, for.
Oh, dang, yep.
And king c6 doesn't work because of b4. So
Yep. You're queening with the check.
yeah.
So it's not gonna work. What other idea could be in here?
So I would actually say that we have to keep this position and also figure out, can we enter the position from the queen side as well?
Yeah, sure. Let's try. Why not? King d3, king c4, king b4, king a4. We can at least play. And after king a6, by that point, I mean, we have extra tempi to start pushing his king back, right?
Six, yeah.
Oh, he'll come this way.
If he goes this way, then I think white will change direction, right?
Oh,
So he has to play this. Now we play this. Now he has to go back. And now what do we do? That's the main question.
now we get a situation of the mind square. We go to king b4,
Mm-hmm. King c7.
king a. Oh, you're gonna go that way.
Yeah, forced. I mean, of
I'll go.
course,
Yeah.
I cannot come here.
Right. Okay. So if you go to that way, then that's fine. I'm gonna still gonna go to a5.
Mm-hmm.
How am I
So this is
entering the
basically the
position?
first stage of the problem, that you can say that this is the point where you actually can use some of your reserve moves.
b3.
Okay. King A7.
B4. B4.
Pawn B4.
Mm-hmm.
King B7.
Now B5.
This is just a draw, right? I'll just take King C7.
There's still a draw. Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
I thought it would be not a draw because I have the opposition, but
No, but opposition
maybe.
comes second. You first have to be present in front of the pawn.
Oh, right.
So if you manage to get to the key squares, then yeah, opposition matters. But this position is drawn even if it's black to play, white to play, doesn't matter.
Mm, got it.
So actually B3 is correct. This is a key move of in this position. King A7. And now you have to think what else you can do. So basically now you want to take the king to the other side of the board.
But what was the point of getting in B3 and doing this whole maneuver? I'm not still not sure.
Okay, let's just check. So now let's say we play king B4, king C4, king E5, I mean king D4, king E5, and now we play B4. So we gain access.
And we couldn't do this straightforward because
Because Black's king was
our
always one
closer, right?
step. Yeah, Black's king was always one step ahead. So whenever we are trying to go somewhere like here, he's not allowing us to enter into E5. Yeah, he's just playing king F6 here.
So we had to take him all the other side
Yes.
to get an
Yes.
even head start and then run back this way.
Yeah, we basically needed to take him to the other side of the board so that so basically what I
The
feel is
distance to E5 is equalized between the two
yes.
kings, right?
Yeah,
Right now
exactly.
we were too far away.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's
now
interesting.
the distance is equal. So this is like an outflanking problem. Basically, it's an outflanking issue. And of course, opposition and outflanking go together. But the key was to use two reserve tempo at two different times. So here, one B3. This is the first waiting move that you use. And then when you go to the other side of the board, you use the second waiting move at the last point, B4.
Hmm.
And this is the only way to win this position.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, this is really interesting. I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, happens actually sometimes. So it's better to be ready with all those things.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Very neat.
Okay, I
Yeah,
think
completely new idea for me. I've never even seen this concept before.
yeah. So basically, I think what happens is if you actually work a bit on your own with these things get much better, you know. So
Hmm.
once we are done with all these things, you probably will need to open this entire study and just play through these moves one more time,
Okay.
and that way things will work much better for you.
Okay.
Okay, Rafi, I think for today we can wrap up.
Sure.